Hello, welcome back to Irene Cares podcast. Today I have a very special guest, and I'm so excited to introduce her. My business partner and one of my dearest, truest friends, Dee Dee.
Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here and part of the Irene podcast, Irene Cares podcast.
Yeah.
This is exciting to actually be a part of everything.
Yeah, not
today.
sitting off camera.
Yeah. Usually I'm sitting there watching the production and listening to the guests, and this is fun to be here and talk about Irene.
Yeah. So I want you to introduce yourself a little bit. We're going to talk about the origin story of Irene, I guess, today, because we really want you to get a feel for why we do what we do and how it all came about, and maybe like a little sneak peek into the future of some things that are coming down the road for us.
Okay. I am happy to tell everybody because the adventure that we started just like a few months ago and what it is progressing into today is very exciting for us.
Yes.
And we have a lot of new things in the pipeline, and I want to share it with, I guess, with everybody.
Yeah.
So start from the beginning.
So start with how the idea of Irene came to be.
Okay. I can definitely do that. Even though you know it, and it kind of feels weird just sitting here talking to you because you were at the very beginning.
We're telling the other people because because it's interesting to me, and I'll just give a little snippet before you start. Like, it's so fascinating to see how it's been, like 8 or 9 months since the concept was initially started, right? Like, since you talked to Travis about it?
Yeah, I think it was around August or September of last year.
Yeah, so from that point to now, so much has changed. Like, it started like this, and we've grown our idea into something way bigger and way better.
Oh my goodness.
And so
it makes me happy every time I even talk about it. Like, this is like the most exciting thing I think I've ever done in my life.
So, I agree. For me too.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad because I like being on this journey with you. So, okay, I guess we will start, I don't know, the very beginning.
So you had this idea.
Yes. So I was also in a situation that many of the people that we have spoken to, you even, I have been in a situation in my life, in my past, that made me kept contemplating, like, how can we help this situation? Like, how can we help other people? And how could I even help myself? So communication was a really big deal for me because the communication that I had wasn't very good communication. Mm-hmm. And I had people in my life that were helping me communicate, but sometimes you don't want to ask people to help you all the time. And I'm a grown woman, and why am I constantly asking people for help? And this idea had come to me, obviously, well, not obviously, but ChatGPT started becoming like a really big deal. And being able to use that for helpful communication was very eye-opening for me. Yeah. And I had a friend tell me, why don't you just start using that to communicate? And I didn't even know that was even an option, to be honest with you, because I was having, doubts about how to communicate or what to say or what to do, or I was stuck in a communication train for like hours on end because I didn't know how to set boundaries and make it stop. So an idea had come to me because I'd been searching for different options, that there was nothing out there for people who were in these kind of situations. And just so happened that one day I was talking to your husband, and we were talking about rugby. And I just had gotten on some kind of rugby board, and him and I were discussing it. And I had heard that he had made a website with AI for the rugby stuff. So of course I started like picking his brain about it. And then I told him this concept about Irene. I said, there needs to be something out there and for women, because I, am a woman. I'm a woman. Yeah. And so in my mind, I'm thinking honestly, solely about me. I was being very selfish, and
well, that was your perspective, right?
Yes.
That's all you knew was your
my story and the things that had happened, and what I wanted to do to like help me, future me, or people who had been in situations like me. And so when him and I started talking about it, I'm like, is there anything out there for AI that can help women, or analyze conversations, help reply, do all these things, because I can't find it. And it'd be amazing if, you could create it, or, I can't remember everything, because I was so excited.
But you were looking for something that people could use to better their communication, because ChatGPT can do so much. But the thing about ChatGPT that we've learned along this journey is that you can manipulate ChatGPT to kind of speak how you want ChatGPT to speak.
Yes, and I didn't want that. Yeah, I needed something that would be able to steer me straight. Like, hey, this is what... I don't know what to say.
Don't say it like that. Yeah. Say it like this kind of thing.
Or don't manipulate the situation. Yeah. I didn't want any manipulation. I wanted it to just end. I wanted it to just... I needed to learn how to put boundaries up. I needed to have short replies. I needed just conversation to be what it was, answer the questions that needed to be answered, and not
have that hour-long back and forth, and then you're spinning in your head again.
Yes. And then also, it evolved into other things. But after I'd hung up with Travis, I kept thinking about it, but not kind of put it on the back burner. And then a couple days later, he called me and he was like, this is how I picture it. Him being like, I've already developed it.
He's like, so how does this look?
And I'm like, wait, what? And it was only a couple days later, and he's like, I've already started developing it. And I'm like, so are we business partners? And he's like, yes. And so there is Irene. This is how Irene became a part of our world.
Yeah.
Is a simple conversation between your husband and I, and then him wanting to help all these other people out there, and him having the wherewithal to be like, I can create this, I can do this. This is going to be something amazing and wonderful. And, and he was so selfless and helpful, and, and then all of a sudden, here it is, if you could have seen what it was back then to where it is now.
I know.
The evolution of Irene is amazing. Concept of it to today. And then
even just like there was Irene, that first iteration of Irene, and then a couple months later she shifted, and then a couple months later she shifted, and it was just kind of like, oh, we need to add this, we need to take this away, oh, we need to clean this up. Just like anything else, it's a process, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like he was able to put something up pretty amazing in a pretty short amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
He dedicated 100%. A lot of time. Yeah. From the beginning, just knowing, just believing in your idea. And I think that's beautiful. That is he saw what you saw, and then together you guys just made this beautiful website that's everything that you needed and wanted when you were going through.
And it's and it keeps evolving too, because the more that him and I would have conversations, and I would be like, hey, some of these things happened in my life, and especially when it came to documentation. Yeah. Documentation is huge. And when you're in the thick of life, thick of everything, and you don't even think about stuff like that, and as you're walking into, say, your attorney's office or whatever it is, and you're handing them stuff, and you're disheveled, and your mind is all over the place, and you're just trying to survive, we were able to create something where you can store it in one place, and at the touch of a button, you can give it to your attorney. Yeah. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
And you don't even have to look at it anymore.
Yeah.
It can just be sitting in this place, in this protected space, and knowing that, hey, if one day I need this, it is here. If not, then that's okay.
Yeah.
But if one day, hey, I am protected. And I think that is also beautiful, is because I sometimes didn't know how to feel in a protected space.
Yeah.
Or I felt lost or confused. And
you felt like at some point it wasn't going to be safe anymore, because historically, when things felt safe, there was always a moment or two later where that was unsafe again, right?
Yeah.
Historically,
that's exactly
our
what
nervous
happens.
system gets used to the chaos.
Yes.
And so when we have something that's not chaotic, it's like, I don't know what to do with this. Because we have
Exactly.
to relearn how to be comfortable with peace again.
Yes.
And how to be comfortable with like knowing, okay, I put everything there and I don't have to think about it anymore. I logged it all in Irene. It's all organized. I have folders I can put it in. I can do folders for my children. I can do folders for myself. I can do folders for a trip. I can do folders for whatever.
For whatever it
so
may
that I
be.
can keep very, very, very organized track of all of the things that I might need for court someday, or hopefully not.
Hopefully,
but at
yeah,
least
again, hopefully not. But if you do, I mean, it is there. And
it's there and you don't have to relive it. That's the big thing, I think.
yes, and I think it is too. And like journaling.
Yeah.
I am very big on journaling. I mean, even if you ask my parents, I guess my parents from a very young age have always taught us to journal. You
Yeah.
know, like we would set goals at the beginning of the year, and my parents would always talk about us, you know, journaling and doing stuff like that. And Irene has that for you to be able to journal on a daily basis if you want to, or you can give it to a counselor or a therapist, and you can show them the things that you've been thinking about during the day to help you in your sessions.
Yeah.
And
to help them understand where your brain is on a daily basis so that they can go, oh, okay, if we address this right here, maybe that can help all of this to kind of soften or go away.
yes. Yeah.
So beautiful. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited.
I know. I love all of
So
those
there was
concepts.
IreneGPT.ai.
Yes.
But now we have.
Now we are creating a community.
Yeah.
And this community is called Irene Cares. And I believe deep in my soul that this is going to help so many people out there, men and women, because that feeling of loneliness is real.
Yeah.
It is a place where I don't ever want to be again.
Yeah.
And I believe that when we are all in it, in the thick of it, at least I'm speaking for myself,
Right.
that I didn't think that there was anybody else there that had ever experienced the things that I had experienced. And oh boy, was I wrong. You know, like starting this journey with you and being able to speak to all these beautiful women and men, and them being able to come forth and speak about their stories and the things that they have gone through. We have all been in the darkest of dark places, and sometimes we don't know how to get out of it. Yeah. And I believe that this community, this Irene Cares community, is going to help hopefully thousands of people.
Yeah.
One person I'm going to be happy with, but hopefully thousands and thousands of people, so we know that we are not alone. And I think that's the best.
You know what I love that it started as IreneGPT.ai, this tool that people could use to get organized and learn how to communicate better and all of these things. But now that's like a small piece of what we're doing, because Irene Cares is the big piece, because we really truly care about the journey too, not just like you're in the thick of it, here's what you do, and then feeling stuck in this trauma situation and this mindset of like, I'm divorced and this and that, and you can go down the path of all the negative. Yeah. But we want to show people, and that's what we've been doing with the podcast too, is we want to show people that that's a small piece. And yes, it's good to process those feelings. It's good to feel all of the feelings that are around that, but then let it go.
Yeah, the letting go part,
it's very
big.
hard, but
it is very big.
Once you start to peel those layers off, and because it's not like a one big let go.
No,
it's a process. Yeah. It's like an onion. You have to peel the layers out, peel the layers off, so that you can get to that like good part. Yeah. So that you can get to the point where, when someone's name is brought up, or a situation happens, or you have a conversation with somebody that might be connected with someone else, that it doesn't trigger you into this whole like spiral situation where you can just be like, oh, okay, that's what that was, because you've shifted your whole nervous system to respond in a healthy way to it, instead of responding in the way that you were trained to respond to situations. Yes. And I think that when we get into Irene Cares and people really understand that it's not just this AI, that there's a whole big heart behind it, and this community of people that we want to support and help them to learn how to regulate their nervous system better.
And give them resources.
Give them resources.
Show them that there's advocates out there and therapists out there, attorneys, other people that have been through it, that we can help them make a path.
Yeah.
Because eventually, after our community, we're going to build a different community too, to help
just
people.
healing.
Yeah, a healing.
Like it's a whole healing
community.
journey because it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it does not.
And, you know, I wish I would have had a roadmap because I think that would have helped my brain kind of process better if I knew that there were like steps that I needed to work through to get to a place where, oh my gosh, I'm free of all of it.
Yes.
Like it's something that happened to me, but it doesn't define who I am to this day. The only way it does define who I am is I use that as a bouncing board to get to like the best place I could ever imagine being in my life, like to marrying the man of my dreams and having 3 beautiful children and having this life that like I wake up every day and I'm just so grateful for because I have beautiful people in my life. And now I'm doing something that lights my soul on fire, which is helping people to heal and see that they are worthy of every amazing thing in the world. And it doesn't matter what you've been through, you're always worthy.
Oh my goodness.
Always worthy. Like you feel unworthy, but there's never a point in your life where you're unworthy of every blessing you could ever imagine. You're always worthy.
I love that. And speaking kind of along that same line, I was just telling you this in the car because it has hit me very hard recently. And I believe that with our tool, IreneGPT, AI can also help teach yourself to, communication. Like it's going to help you set boundaries. It's going to help you reply quicker. It's going to just help you kind of put a lot of stuff aside that you no longer need. And I believe with that, it can also stop generational trauma.
Yeah.
And for me, with the journey that I've gone through, I do believe that my ancestors and my family and people have been there alongside helping me so I can help this generational trauma stop.
Yeah.
For my children, for my children's children, for it to go further so that they know that they are worthy.
Yeah.
So that they know that things that have happened in their past no longer has to happen and they can continue on this amazing course of life.
Yeah.
And then like along with that, I want to put a big shout out to God, like a huge shout out to him, because I do not know where I would be without him to this day, because IreneGPT wouldn't be here without him or without my family. And a little side note about that is I left God for a very long time. For, I would say, about 13 years, maybe. Like, I made a conscious decision to really no longer have him a part of my life. And a couple of years ago, one of my dear friends asked if I would go on this journey with her to find God again. And how blessed and how lucky I am that she asked me to go on that journey with her. Because I believe to this day that I would not be where I am at today if it wasn't for him and if it wasn't for the journey that we've been on. Because just starting this, the people that I have met, the people I've met with you, I know I would never have met them if it wasn't for him. Yeah. And the calm and the peace that I feel, because now I'm able to just give it to him and be like, whatever happens is going to happen.
I trust that you have my best interest at heart, and whatever it looks like to get there, I'm willing to go through that, because the journey is what creates that strength and that power within you. And I've seen you grow so much in the 6 months that we've been doing this, and it's just beautiful to watch. Like last night I was watching back the first podcast that we filmed together that we never aired.
Yes,
this is much better.
I was not ready.
But that's okay. Because who you are today and the growth that you're seeing, I truly agree with you. I know that it's because you've brought God back into your life, and miracles are performed when we partner with God. Just like he's helped to heal you, together we're going to help to heal thousands upon hundreds of thousands, hopefully millions of men and women who have been through similar situations. And it's not just with IreneGPT, it's with our whole community and the systems that we're going to create to help people to plug in and have something that they can follow that brings that purpose back to their life, that shows them I'm capable, I'm worthy, and this thing that was so traumatic, that hurt so much, is actually going to be one of the greatest blessings when we look at it from the other side, because it actually pushed me into becoming this most beautiful, wonderful person that I crave to be. You
Oh,
know, like
I
I want everybody to see that and
love
to
that.
feel that.
Yes.
And I think that the energy that we put into it, I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast. I don't think so, because I've never had you on. But before we podcast every single week, Dee Dee and I pray, because we know that we're partnered with God on this journey, and we know that through Him, true healing can happen. And when your business partner is God, nothing feels impossible. It's good. There's going to be challenges, and it's going to be hard, the growth. But I feel in the depths of my soul that the way we're doing this is the way that we're supposed to be doing it.
Yes, and I 100% agree with you.
And I just love having a partner, not just God, but you,
Yes.
that's on the same page with me on that, because it's so important to me to use the greatest resource that we have access to, which is the Lord. And I'm so grateful that your friend challenged you to get closer to God again, because I think that's what's making all of this possible. And this is God showing us, like, look, just talk to me and we'll work together. And I'll make this a beautiful...
And him learning, like re-teaching me, I said learning, but re-teaching me that I am capable.
Yeah.
I did not know I was capable of all of these things that you and I have done in the past 6 months. Like, this is mind-blowing to me, because I was
in the most
sitting...
beautiful way.
Yeah, yes. Because I was sitting in my home. I was not doing anything to now being able to be among people.
Yeah.
Like, I did not know that I would ever be able to be in a room. I mean, recently we went to an event and it was all women. No way would I have ever been able to do that and have conversations with strangers. Like, no. Like, no. I feel very blessed, like, to have these opportunities, because we all have stories to share.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what walk of life you came from, and it is fun to listen to people.
Yeah.
And learn, well, us talking with people that are in business, I didn't even realize how many women are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, in a business sense,
Yeah.
because I was stuck at home thinking I wasn't capable of doing hard things. Like, for real.
And for me, before, like, when this all first started, it was just, you and Travis working on this thing, and I thought it was so neat and so cool, and I was just, like, so proud of you for bringing it to him, and so proud of him for building it for you, and, like, it was so beautiful. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, I need you to tap in. She needs a partner. And I'm like, you're her partner. And he's like, no, I'm not that kind of partner. And so I, like, stepped in.
Yeah.
And little did we know from the beginning, like, I was going to do the podcast because, like, it wasn't time. Like, there were just some things we had to sort out, and it wasn't time yet. And, like, I think it's, like, everything I feel has been so purposeful. Like all the steps that we're taking, like, I literally, because I know that hardship comes when you're growing. Like, hardship comes before the growth, right? So I'm sitting here, like, waiting for the hard. And maybe some of this, it would be hard if we weren't partnered with God the way we are. And maybe it would be harder. I mean, after meeting with our mentor, I know that there's going to be some things that are hard for me personally.
Yes.
That I'm going to have to grow in a certain way, that I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to have to teach myself some things. I'm going to have to change my thoughts about certain things. Like, it's like those kind of things that will probably be a little challenging. But if I keep my eye on the prize, I feel like the challenges won't be as great.
Yeah.
And I need to focus more on, like, what we're going to accomplish instead of how hard it might be to get there. But I just always want to be prepared. And, like, there's something I learned a little while ago when I think the first time I had this thought was, after I had my daughter, and her birth was very traumatic, and she was teeny tiny. She weighed 1.5 pounds when she was born, and I didn't know how it was all going to work out. I didn't know how she was going to be okay. I didn't know, but I did get confirmation from God that she was going to be okay. And so I just had to keep turning and trusting in Him. And every time a challenge would come up, I would just go, okay, God, what do I need to learn? I'm ready to learn whatever I need to. Like, teach me what I need to know, because this is really hard, so there must be something in it for me to learn from. And from that point forward in my life, when something challenging comes across my my path, I just recheck in and I go, okay, God, what am I supposed to learn?
Yeah.
Like, help me to see the lesson that I'm supposed to learn in this situation.
Oh, well, that's beautiful.
But for me, I feel like it's inevitable. So why not lean into it instead of running from it?
Mm-hmm.
So I've
And
decided
that's a good way to look at it instead of just not wanting to do it. Or
the lesson's going to come back another way if we don't learn it this time.
know.
So I'm trying to figure out how to learn it each and every time so we don't have those repeat situations. Because some of them I'm like, no, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. Let's avoid it. Let's avoid that hardship.
Let's learn the lesson, okay?
I like that.
Yeah, so this journey is amazing. And this journey with you is exceptionally beautiful. And I cannot wait for all of you to see what Irene Cares is going to be able to offer you, because this is coming from our hearts and our souls.
Yeah.
And I hope that people that know us understand that we care deeply. We love so much, and we want nothing more than for every man and woman that hears this message to know that you're not alone. And there are resources out there available for you to get on the other side of that healing so that you can feel that true peace and get rid of the chaos, and that you can see that you are divinely worthy. No matter what's happened in your life, your worth never changes. You are always worthy of the utmost peace and joy and happiness in your life.
Well, I'm glad that you said, like, getting rid of the chaos.
Yeah.
Because for me, living in that chaos was awful. Like, just being in my head about it all the time or whatever it was, and not having a sense of peace or a sense of calm. I didn't even think I would be able to get to that feeling ever again in my life. I thought that my life was always going to be a state of chaos.
Yeah.
And learning how to communicate differently, learning how to set boundaries, learning just a different way of being, or again, back to communication, that chaos is no longer there.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm hoping our tool, IreneGPT.ai, helps, and then our community will exponentially make you get to that point where the chaos is gone.
Because community is so important for us as humans. Like,
very important.
I think during COVID, we kind of like lost it a little bit. And I really want to bring that back, even if it's an online community, or, you know, maybe there's retreats down the road, or maybe there's some way for us to get together. But no matter what it is, I think that community can be very supportive and make you feel heard and make you feel loved while you're trying to figure out how to hear yourself and love yourself.
Well, I know that sharing stories with one another helps you grow.
For sure.
And I know for a personal, you know, me, I would never want to tell my story. Like, that was where my mindset was. Like, there's no way I could. I went to a retreat. Actually, yes, I really want to tell this story because this makes me very excited.
Yeah.
I went on a retreat, I guess, a little over a year ago. And the vulnerability, like, we had to sit there across complete strangers and tell our story. And you bet your ass I was not going to. And I remember,
this one's not for me.
Yeah, I remember staring at this woman, and we had to like hold hands or something and look each other in our eyes, and I was like, nope. And she's sitting there like pouring her heart out, and I'm like, yeah, not gonna happen
for you, but I'm not doing it.
Super sad or whatever. Like, your trial was awful. No, not gonna share like anything about me.
Yeah.
But by the end of that week, I became more comfortable in my skin and being like, that happened to me. A whole bunch of stuff in my whole life, like, these things did happen. And the more I was able to be vulnerable, the more blessings came my way.
Yeah.
I however weird that may sound. And here's another side note about the journey to Irene is, at the end of that retreat, we had to write a letter to ourselves. Mm-hmm. And of what we expected or what we wanted. And I went on a trip. So they were going to mail us. They were going to mail us that letter. We didn't know
Just
when.
at some random
yeah,
time.
we didn't know when they were going to mail it. They didn't know whatever, like, but you had to write a letter to yourself. And I kid you not, it took me like hours to write that letter. I wasn't sure what I wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted, the proper things to say. And I did. I wrote that letter, put it in that envelope, and went about my merry way. And around the end of the school year, I decided I'm quitting my job. I didn't know why. I gave them notice that maybe I'd only work maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I was quitting my job. I went and watched my son play rugby, and I knew that when we came back from that trip, I wasn't going to have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had mapped out all these ideas, from doing retreats to doing massage therapy in my home to doing, I don't know, my mind was just spinning, but I knew I couldn't go back to the way of life of what I had because I was no longer happy.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't know how.
There was something more.
Yeah.
Coming out of you that you just didn't know what it was yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something more. And when I got back from that vacation or trip watching my son and my nephews play, that letter was there. And in that letter it said, "You have a voice." And I knew right then and there, it is time. It is time to share my story. It is time to give other people an opportunity to get to know me. And it's also an opportunity for me to get to know other people. Because to feel what they have gone through and to share those vulnerabilities, we can do great things for each other.
Yeah.
And we can move mountains. We can continue along this wonderful, beautiful path, uplifting each other and showing each other that anything is possible.
We're living proof of that.
Yeah. Yes.
Because this
Yes, we
journey
are.
that we're on is helping us heal more and more every day. Like, I thought I was really, really in a really, really good place, but I've even experienced growth and healing just since we've been doing this. Because when you hear other people's stories and realize, wow, this isn't just like an isolated incident, and it's not just a small amount of people. It's very interesting, and I always look at somebody's eyes when we're telling them what we do, because within seconds I can tell if they have a story of their own.
Yes.
Like, we went to go look at an office space the other day, and this woman, like, within 3 words of what we were saying we did, she was like,
"Wait, what?"
"Oh, yeah." Like, that's familiar to me. And like, sad but true, but also like, that's what everybody needs to understand is like, you're not alone. Like, and what surprised us the most, I think, was when we started growing our social media and seeing that like half of our following is men.
Yeah.
It's not just women.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
It's not just women, because we only hear about women.
Yeah, well, and I don't think they want to talk. I think they're searching for help or searching for
support.
knowledge or support or whatnot. But that is hard to talk about. I mean, it's hard for women to talk about it.
And men are less talkative than women when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's true.
I talked to my husband and my son about this one time because my son was telling me a story about one of his friends, and I started asking all these questions. He's like, "Mom, I don't know. I didn't pry. I just listened to what they had to say."
Yeah, you're
and
like,
I'm
"No, pry. Please pry, because I want to know."
That's the difference. That's the difference between men and women. Because I would ask questions because I want to know, like, is there a way I can support or help this person? I ask a lot of questions not to be nosy, but to see, like, is there something I can do or say, or some way I can support this person while they're in this space to help them? Because I've always wanted to help people. That's just by nature. That's who I am. And I think that's why you and I get along so well, is because I think that we have that same thing in common, but also like, we're not afraid to like rely on the Lord for strength and help when we're not quite sure what the next step is. We're going to take the next step, but we're like, a little help,
A lot of help? What are you talking about? A little? A lot, please.
Yeah. But he knows we're capable, and that's why he's trusted us, I think, with this journey.
I agree.
I really truly do. I really feel like you and I and our experiences were not in vain. It wasn't just like something terrible that we had to go through. It was something that we needed to experience so that we could be there in a way and show up in a way for the people who are in it now, so that they see, oh, they get it. They've been there. They understand how I'm feeling. They get it. I might not
100%.
fully understand everybody's situation, but I do have a heart for somebody who's been hurt by someone else because of their words or their actions or, an experience that they had. like, I love the peace that I have in my life.
Oh, me too.
I love
I love the peace.
coming home and I just feel so relaxed, so calm, so just like, yes. You know?
Oh no,
Because
I
your
love
home's
it.
the same way. When I
Oh
come
my
into
goodness,
your
I
home,
love
there's a
it.
peace there that is just like, it's so comforting to be in your home.
It's a little sometimes fun at my house. Sometimes
There's fun chaos.
Yeah, there's
sometimes.
fun. There's more fun chaos. It's not the chaos that it used to be in the
Yeah,
home. But
yeah.
yeah. But I like that. I want a full house. I want people in and out.
Yeah.
That we had Karami on here, one of our first.
She was like our second podcast,
one of our
I think.
first, and she had asked me a few weeks before that, prior to that, like what one of my goals was, for the future by the end of the year, whatever it was. I can't even remember the question she asked me, and I told her, I'm like, I want a home where everyone wants to be there. I want a home where people feel safe. I want a home where people feel loved, that they can come in and out. I don't need to lock the doors. I need them to be able to, hey, there's stuff in the cupboard. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat something. Or, hey, let's play games in the backyard. Let's have Sunday dinner together. I want a place of gathering.
Yeah.
And I miss that. Like, I was raised in a home where, like, my grandma lived, like, the next house over. My aunts and uncles lived around the corner. We had Sunday dinner together and birthdays and everything. And I feel like I'm missing that. Like, one day when I have, cute little grandbabies running around and all the, like, all this stuff, I want that.
Yeah.
I want a place where my children want to come and just stop in and not even call me and be like, I'm coming, that they're just there. Like that. And my friends, I miss my friends deeply, and they all live all over the country, and how beautiful would that be to have a space for them? Yeah. And that is what I told Karami. I'm like, this is what I want to see. And I have been lacking that for many, many years.
And it's coming back because sometimes on the
yeah.
weekends you're like, okay, I wish nobody was here because I just need to refresh. But not in a, like, I don't like the people around me, just in a way, like, I need an extra day for me kind of way. Because we also need that. Like,
we
need to have that time
and rejuvenation.
And you and I both like to be outside.
Oh,
like,
I love
sit
being
outside.
Sometimes we do a lot of work outside in chairs or hammocks or
or listen to an 8-hour long conference outside while we color.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, I love being your partner. It's been the highlight of my days. Like, for real. Like,
Me too.
It's been amazing.
Me too. I mean, I have 3 sisters, but I feel like I have another sister because I feel like our relationship has just, it's almost like, not like a trauma bond, but we've bonded over some of our experiences, and we've also bonded over our belief in what we could create, which is so huge and so beautiful.
You know that.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the podcast with me. I'm so excited you were here.
That was hard. Everybody talking and being in front of things is difficult.
I know, but you did a great job, and like, I'm so excited for our future. And please check out IreneGPT.ai. Follow us at Irene Cares on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
And
new things are coming.
Yeah, big new things are happening here. We're creating this whole big shift so that we can support and love and care for and help so many more people. So thank you for being here, and we love you, and God bless.